G'day guys, how's it going? My name is CJ. So today we're going to be talking about the iPhone X. And as we know, Apple has finally announced the iPhone X to much excitement, and a lot of people are going to be thinking about whether or not they should fork out the money to buy this phone. So today we're going to be going through the 3 reasons why I think you shouldn't buy the iPhone X. Let's get started. So the first reason I'm going to give for why you shouldn't buy the iPhone X is unexciting software experience. On the whole, iOS hasn't really changed that much over the years, and iOS 11 is pretty much more of the same. There's really not that much that's unique to the iPhone X in regards to the software experience, and one of Apple's key bragging rights has always been its ability to optimize its software for its hardware. So if you're coming from an older device like the 6S or the iPhone 7, then chances are the overall user experience is going to be pretty much identical. And this is especially true and relevant given that Apple still sells the iPhone 6S and the iPhone 7 on the Apple Store. So if you've got one of those devices, or you're looking to get into the iOS ecosystem, you're really not losing that much compared to the iPhone X. And in actual fact, it's never been cheaper to get into the iOS ecosystem now, with the 6S and the 7 being sold for cheaper on the Apple Store. So then the second reason why you shouldn't buy the iPhone X, and that's the lack of Touch ID. So the home button has been a staple with the iPhone ever since the beginning, and with time we've gotten Touch ID. Nowadays, fingerprint sensors are pretty much a standard across all smartphones, so it's a real shame that Apple got rid of Touch ID, especially given that its implementation was one of the fastest on the market. Even if Apple is convinced that Face ID is the future of biometric security, it still would have been nice to have seen Apple implement Touch ID in some form in order to make the transition over to Face ID a little easier. And then finally, the third and probably my biggest reason why you probably shouldn't buy the iPhone X, and that's its price. This thing is woefully expensive. For only 1,579 Australian dollars or 1,000 US dollars, you can get yourself an entry-level 64GB iPhone X. And this is an iPhone, so as you know, it doesn't come with any expandability. To give you a bit of context, that's about $80 more expensive than the newly released Galaxy Note 8, which also comes with 64GB as standard, and it also has expandability as well. So if you wanted more storage, you'd have to opt for the 256GB version, because Apple doesn't offer you a middle ground at, say, 128GB. And if you want to step up to this level, you're going to have to fork out 1,829 Australian dollars. That's getting alarmingly close to $2,000. That's more expensive than Apple's own MacBook Air, and almost as expensive as the 12-inch Retina MacBook. That's kind of crazy, don't you think? I mean, Aussies like myself have been paying over $1,000 for smartphones for years, but it's really hard to justify buying a phone like this when it starts to creep towards the $2,000 mark, even if it is a top model. I mean, even today, it's still a little bit of a shock having to pay over $1,000 for a smartphone, even in Australia. But otherwise, there you have it. Those are my 3 main reasons why you shouldn't buy the iPhone X. Sure, there are plenty of other reasons why you shouldn't buy an iPhone, but I want to know what you think. Let me know what your least favorite features are, and give me your reasons why you're not going to buy the iPhone X. Anyway, if you enjoyed what you saw, give us a like, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Say good day to your mum for me. Cheers.